granddaddy, future dad commentating on the match. Going to be a lot of fun between Kevin and David Davila, David actually just came to the booth.
Yeah, he came up here, told us that he flew out from San Diego, California to play in this tournament. Now 3-0 and on camera. A very nice weekend so far.
That's really not close to here.
No.
At all. I hope, is that direct? San Diego to here? You've done that.
Delta, probably Southwest.
Okay.
You could do it.
All right. Let's do it to it. It's an evolving wilds to start here for David. Kevin will play a Wandering Funeral. David's going to sacrifice that land, search up a basic, and round number 4 underway here from the ATL. It'll be a basic forest.
Obviously, Kevin was going to come out here week 1 with some fidgety deck full of spells.
And certainly blue and red.
Yeah.
Because I'm almost confident that's Kevin's favorite color combination. A Vessel of Nascency. A Hissing Quagmire to passing the turn. Over to Kevin Jones. We are going to go. He'll draw a card. Spire Bluff Canal is the land. The follow-up is a Catharic Reunion. No dredging here. Going to discard a Kozak return. Kind of like dredging, I guess. Find another one to discard, Kevin. How about a mountain? 3 cards on the way here for Kevin Jones. Prize amalgam among those cards. And we're going back over to David.
Is he with the Blood Rage Brawler? He is leaning in.
Yes. A discard strategy, no doubt.
No room for Fiery Temper is somewhat surprising.
Seems like it'd be a weird fit in his deck. I don't know.
I don't know. He's playing with Catharic Reunion. He's playing with Lightning Axe, Tormenting Voice. I don't know. I guess you got to make cuts somewhere. And it's a little mopey if you're not doing the thing. But
Vessel Nascency is going to turn over a couple of cards here. Of them, David selected a forest to put into his hand. Next up is another copy of Vessel. There's a swamp. Pass the turn back over to Kevin. Kevin got any end of turn effects? He does have a Disallow in hand. I think another copy of Kozak's return, but he's got nothing to do, so Jones will just draw a card. Are we discarding? I think we're about to be. Kevin without a 4th land. Vessel Nascency will be cracked. Grim Flare, Traverse, grapple with the pass, and a Swamp. Grim Flare is going to go to the grip here for David. And now Kevin's going to discard, the value. I believe in advanced Stitchwing.
yeah, the Stitchwing Scab. Or Advanced Stitchwing.
I believe it's the advanced. Kevin's got 4 of each. Ugh, that's an ugly creature. Discard 2 cards, return it from your graveyard to your hand.
Can't Fatal Push it.
Nope. Here's Grim Flare. See if this resolves. I think at this stage, David does have Delirium, by the way. Oh, hello. Hello, reduced to rubble. Newbie?
Get that on the screen in a moment
That's
here.
a very Kevin Jones card. Counter target spell unless the controller pays 3. Rubble, up to 3. Target land zone untapped during their controller's next untap step.
That's delightful.
All right. It's very Stone Rain right there. That's your kind of card.
I'm a big fan of a temporary Stone Rain.
Turf Wound. That was one of my favorites back in the day.
Turf Wound's a little much.
So bad.
It has moments of being very good.
That's true. That's true. There's a creature that had Turf Wound's effect too. It was like Partick Miner, I think.
You could sack it to Turf Wound.
Yeah, to Turf Wound then? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my Turf Wound deck.
Revelark back my miners.
Here's a Walking Ballista for 2.
Get back. I'm going to get back miners.
I think this is going to be end of the second main phase, perhaps, here for Kevin. Going to get back Advanced Stitchwing, discarding at least a Prized Amalgam.
Yep.
And...
Wouldn't want a Fiery Temper here.
Stop.
Couldn't find the room for it.
Get back Prized Amalgam. You need Fire Temper for your creature's better than that stinking Walking Ballista anyway. Let's do this. Kevin has a copy of Elder Deepfiend in hand, too. Beatdowns, yes. In for 6. Davila going to fall down to 14.
This deck looks like Kevin Jones just wallowing in all of his worst habits.
Couple counter spells. 3 power flyer.
Yeah. The graveyard,
Yep.
you know, sort of semi-matters.
Yep. Kevin's in his comfort zone right now.
Couldn't even rubble him.
No. He's got another reduced rubble in hand.
They sort of combo together, you see, because you tap their lands and then you get to mana link their next thing.
You do.
And tap their lands again.
5 mana. I don't think that's resolving.
Yeah. We're going to...
New Liliana on the loose.
Kevin giving it a read like he, you know, there's a reality where he might not counter a 5-mana Planeswalker with his mana leak.
Yeah. Here comes
Keeping up appearances.
Here comes Walking Ballista.
Give him the rubble now. It's time.
Not quite sure Rubble's good right now.
You kidding me? He's got Walking Ballista.
Okay.
He's got things to do with his mana.
Okay. All right. Might be right, maybe. He's also got Elder Deep Fiend. Elder Deep Fiend Rubble? That's game.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a look at it.
That is great.
That's good. Let's take a look at the Rubble one more time. All right. Tilt your neck. Up to 3 target lands don't untap during their controller's next untap step. Okay. Basically Time Walk. Red Time Walk.
For free with flashback.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, come on.
Give it to him.
It's Rubble time.
The old Barney Rubble.
You're in we're in trouble. We're in Barney. What? We're Rubble. Trouble! Here's the Blood Rage Brawler, discarding Prized Amalgam. That was a bad Ocean's 12 reference, by the way. Maybe 13? There's Ocean's 13? We're in Barney by Don Cheadle?
I did not see that one.
Yeah. I don't think it's from the first one. I think it's from the second or third one. Vessel of Nascency. Crack it now. Top couple of cards, Liliana among them, Tireless Tracker, Blooming Marsh, and a basic Swamp. Here for David. Consult the Grip. His hand is very bad. It's 3 lands. Think I might want a Tracker. Maybe. Maybe Tracker. Liliana's also quite powerful.
Not really much in the way of goodies to zombify, though.
Yeah. There's Liliana. Kevin's taking a look. We're going to do the same. It's a new Planeswalker. 5 mana, 5 loyalty, +1. Create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Put the top 2 cards of your library into the graveyard. -3. It's Rise from the Grave. From your, I guess, zombify. Return target creature from your graveyard, not anyone's, to the battlefield. Creature is a black zombie. Elder Deep Fiend's really good magic card. Going to tap all your stuff and kill you in a moment. And then destroy all non-zombie creatures for the -7. Could flashback Kozak's Return if Kevin would like to. That's an option.
Yeah, just tapping down the blockers here and then untapping and attacking for lethal.
That is correct.
Tap the Planeswalker, which I like.
Yeah, you got to really let him know. It's a Yume on the Kozak's Return.
You want to keep your powder dry on that one.
Yep. There we go. Those are tapped now. Now Kevin's going to say, I'm going to attack you for lethal. I promise that's going to do it. Kevin Jones going to win game number 1 here against David Davila. Blue-red Emerge up a game here over Black-green Delirium. The daddy currently riding alone.
That was a weird one.
His deck is really strange.
Yeah.
Really strange. I can only imagine that the sideboard is as strange. Kevin's already going through it, so he's got an idea of what he wants. Ah, okay. 4 Fevered Visions. 2 Chandra Torch of Defiance, 2 Dispel, 2 Magma Spray, 2 Nahiri's Wrath, a Disallow, a Drake Haven, and a Compelling Deterrence. I think Chandra's good. I'm not sure about the rest.
I go into the Drake Haven too. Green Delirium, not the best against flyers. It's really only Ishkana, and Jones has quite a few counter spells and removal spells for that. But yeah, I kind of like his game 1 setup here. I don't think I would go to the Fever Visions on the draw. I think Davila has enough aggression in his deck to potentially punish Jones for that card.
For David Davila, he's got 4 Lay Bare the Heart, 2 Appetite for the Unnatural, 2 Yeheni's Expertise. And here come the fun ofs. Obnicholas Reignited, Pick the Brain, Scarab Feast, Natural State Manglehorn, Prowling Cat Snake, which actually might be okay here, and Serpard, and a Cletus Trader of Get.
Cards with like some interaction with the graveyard here, Cleus and Scarab Fest. I think the Serpent Fard's probably fine. I mean, Jones is playing with Reduced to Rubble, so that's a nice card to have when Jones is leaving up 3 mana. And I would probably want to bring in the copies of Laid Bare the Heart as well. Jones's deck very synergy oriented, a lot of expensive cards. I want to discard Spell here.
Those are the options there for both players. David Davila, who again flew here from San Diego. So thanks for flying out, David. Off to a good start as well, making the trip worth it. We'll be on the play here for game number 2 against Kevin the Daddy Jones. Self-given nickname, but it certainly has stuck. Let's talk about the StarCityGames.com YouTube page, shall we? It's where you can become one of over 110,000 subscribers, and we've got a lot going on over there.
Yeah, a lot of content over at youtube.com/StarCityGames, including archives of Split Second, Versus Series, Commander Versus, Magic Online playtesting, Best of the SCG Tour, and much more. You can subscribe today for free at youtube.com/StarCityGames. Get notified when new content is uploaded to the page.
We will have an episode of Split Second for you guys on our way out the door after this round. But for now, as we head back to our match, you know what? Kevin Jones, one of our favorites.
Yep.
One of our favorites here on the SCG Tour, a player who has really grown and developed his skills at playing Magic and has shown, you know what? At the beginning, a lot of people thought this was just a guy who was grinding IQs. He's shown that he's a lot more than that.
Yep, a lot of success here with the Invitationals Players Championship, represented the United States of America at the Team World Cup last year, a player who has grown and developed quite a bit over the last 4 and 5 years.
Smart guy, interesting thinker, played college tennis at Pace University as a walk-on after teaching himself the game, won the Eternal Weekend a few years ago with Blue Red Delver, enjoys reading and reads at least one mystery novel every week, and he's been known to just drive to the tournaments by himself because he just loves to get his game on.
Yes.
He loves to get his game on.
He rides alone.
Jones. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. The daddy rides alone. That is Kevin Jones, the 29-year-old from Kingstown, New York. Getting ready to watch him play game number 2 with him riding alone again here. I don't think anyone else is playing this deck this weekend. Kidding me?
I should hope not.
Yeah, he is riding alone with this wacky blue-red emerge deck.
Yep.
Is it good against Mardu vehicles? I don't know. Maybe.
Yep. Who's to say?
I like what he's up to. I mean, you get the plan.
Yeah, definitely.
You understand the plan.
You have a bunch of cards that discard cards for profit and a bunch of cards that can be discarded profitably. And Elder Deep Fiend as a big payout.
The only thing I ever get scared about these decks is mulliganing is rough. Because you don't have as many cards to just kind of do your thing
And
with.
also a lot of your draws just have to be nonsense.
Yeah.
It's surprising to me that you could go to 2 Tormenting Voice alongside the 4 Cathartic Reunion. I would assume 4 and 4 is just you just have to have that.
Well, these players are going to keep their hands. They're each going to start off with some creature lands. Hissing Quagmire for David, Wandering Funeral for Kevin. Now David's got an Evolving Wilds before passing the turn back, so a slow start for the Blackmoon Delirium player. For Kevin, it's a Mountain. He's bored in Fevered Visions, and he'll play a Cathartic Reunion, discarding the Advanced Stitchwing and Sanctum of Ugin. 3 cards on the way. 1 is an Elder Deep Fiend. 2, I don't have a great look at. And 3 is a Lightning Axe. In the meantime, David Davila will sacrifice an Evolving Wild to get himself a basic Swamp. I can't roll the Tarmo die as well as you.
Yep. Takes time.
Yeah. It's a skill.
Yep.
Acquired skill. 4 is the draw here for David.
You'll get it. You got to stay with it, but you'll get it.
Okay. Top priority once we get back to the room.
Yeah.
Lightning Axe the draw. Sanctum of Ugin has come down here for Kevin.
Well, this is the type of game where you want Fevered Visions, is your
Yep.
opponent doesn't do something for the first couple of turns.
Well, Appetite for the Natural is going to take care of that, so that's off the table. I do kind of miss that Fevered Visions burn deck that was around with Thermo Alchemist. And we saw for a very short period of time. Hissing in with the Quagmire. Nothing going on in David's hand, at least right now. Letting it rip. With that
It's like a
creature
lot
land.
of lands.
Yeah, I think there's 4 and a discard spell. Kevin without a land. These players can't find a happy medium.
two games in a row now of Jones discarding a land to Cathartic Reunion and then missing soon thereafter missing a land drop. I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying this has happened twice
It's
now.
all part of the plan. All part of the plan. Looks like we got a Stitchwing on the way back.
Yes.
Discarding Prized Amalgam. And another Stitch Wing. There'll be a trigger to get back Prized Amalgam. So David has a copy of To the Slaughter in hand. He's just trying to figure out when can I fire that off to kill the creature and not kill the Prized Amalgam, which is now. And now Prized Amalgam will come back. Perfect.
Yep. I mean, in both of these games so far, Davila has given Jones a lot of breathing room to kind of do his stuff here, has not really put him under any pressure. And I think Jones's deck, when it gets the time and the breathing space, a lot more powerful.
The follow-up here for Jones. Looks like a Tormenting Voice. Going to discard, this time, a Stitchwing Scab. Draw 2. 1 is a Cathartic Reunion. 2 is, I believe, a Spirebluff Canal. It's actually a Wandering Ephemeral, pardon me. And we're going to head back over to David Davila, who's going to draw. Hissing Quagmire. There's Ishkana. But I believe it is without Delirium, so it's just a 3/5 at this instance because David has so many lands this game. Has to find a Vessel of Decency, grapple with the past, Grim Flare, nothing.
Not a bad spot here for Lightning Axe.
I've seen worse spots for it. For now, though, Kevin is going to untap, take a draw step, get some more information. Find another copy of Wandering Ephemeral. You see the Elder Deep Fiend in his hand as well, central piece to what his strategy is up to. Tormenting Voice, the discard, going to get rid of the Wandering Ephemeral. That's actually Cathartic Reunion again, excuse me. So he's got to discard 2 cards and draw 3. He's going to discard one of those Lightning Axes.
Not a good sign here for Davila if your opponent is discarding a Lightning Axe in this spot.
He's picked up another copy of Lightning Axe Mountain and a Disallow. I wouldn't be feeling great right now if I was David. My hand kind of stinks. My opponent's discarding some pretty good cards. And David will draw. Looks like he may have picked up a copy of Kalidas. And he has. So he'll play that powerful legend. Take a deep breath and hope he can play a couple more turns here. Here comes Ishkana. Jones will take the 3. No interest in blocking. And he is untapping. And in a moment, he will be drawing. Ah, yes, reduced to rubble. Good thing to discard the Lightning Axe.
Yes.
That's what I'll say to that. Good card to discard.
Reduce, no longer good. Yeah. Rubble, still good.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's true. Here is Lightning Axe. Discarding, reduced to rubble.
Yes.
And now in. And Kevin will just pass the turn back. We go over to David. David will draw. Tracker. I don't think that's going to resolve. I take it back. Kevin does have a copy of Disallow, but he says, you know what, that's totally fine.
I think Jones is going to just transition here into the Elder Deep Fiend plan.
Swallow up the
He's also,
Ishkana.
Yeah, and he sacrifices the Amalgam and gets to get it back down the line with the Stitchwing Scab.
Okay.
And just, I think that's the line here.
No attack. Kevin thought he might be able to get him.
Well, I think Davila wants to block regardless with the Ishkana. Even if he was playing around Elder Deep Fiend, I think he's still pretty heavily incentivized to not attack.
Kevin has the option to trigger the Sanctum if he'd like. That's what he's kind of looking at right now. And he says, I'll just tap your lands and both your creatures so my Elder Deep Fiend can get in here. Tap both your dual lands, your Hissing Quagmire, plural, Ishkana, and Tireless Tracker. And the judge, I believe, the table spotter would like to take a look at Sanctum of Ugin very quickly. A lot of words on that card.
Yep.
A lot of words on that one. So we can take a look as well.
One of the designers at my office, Devin, is more of a casual Magic player. And he plays something called the Sanctum of Ugin game, which is just going up to someone who is, and we have a lot of pro players at our office, a lot of people who have played Sanctum of Ugin at Pro Tours. And the Sanctum of Ugin game is simply walking up to someone and saying, do you know what Sanctum of Ugin does? And they will tell you what the text box is, or what they think it is, and everyone's always wrong by like 3 different properties.
They get close. They
Yeah.
get close. There's a lot going on with that card.
Right. Like, well, how does it trigger? What can it find? Nobody really knows. I think Sam Party was the only one thus far to actually get it.
That does not surprise me. Party Time, very, very, very smart man.
Yep.
Very well versed in the Magic cards. David will untap, and David is drawing. Never to return the draw here for David.
Got to be a nice card in this matchup. Both sides.
Yeah. He'll play a land. He'll get a clue from the tracker. Three mana. Never. Looking to kill the Elder Deep Fiend. Kevin with another Elder Deep Fiend in hand. He might just emerge here. That's in play. And he will. So I'll sacrifice this one. He can trigger the Sanctum. I think this time he's gonna. Tap creatures and your 2 Hissing Quagmires. Again, a repeat of the same turn, more or less. See if David wants to float this mana. In the meantime, Kevin's going to be searching from his Sanctum of Ugin trigger and find another Elder Deep Fiend, chaining them together. Saw this back in the day with the T-Merge decks.
Yes.
And we know that this chaining can be quite powerful. Now, those T-Merge decks were working towards the end game of Emrakul the Promised Land. Thankfully, decks like this can't do that anymore. But this is still a pretty powerful combination of cards.
Looks like Davila is going to use the leftover mana here to cast the return part of that. I would imagine getting the price Amalgam out of the graveyard.
Good choice. Good choice. That's a 2/2 zombie first troubles. And now Jones will untap. Take a draw yet again. And he's found one of those blue discard cards. Looks like another copy of Advanced Stitchwing. Here comes Elder Deep Fiend. See if the zombie wants to block or not. Looks like it will.
I'm a big fan of a chump block here from Davila because Jones is going on this Elder Deep Fiend chain. There's no guarantee you get to chump block down the line. So if he's giving you an opportunity to do it, I like preserving 5 life here.
And Jones will just pass the turn back. In the meantime, Davila will sacrifice a clue, draw a card, and will Kevin make any sort of move here while Davila is tapped out? The answer is yes. It's a copy of Lightning Axe. Lightning Axe is going to take care of the Tireless Tracker. No more cards here for David. David will draw. He's gotten a little bit deeper into his deck now. I believe one of the cards in his hand is a copy of Walking Ballista.
Yeah.
He'll make a pretty large one.
Great payoff here for the amount of mana that he has.
And also a copy of Grim Flare. But remember, Kevin has had that Disallow in his hand for a very, very long time. And this might be an opportunity for him to finally cash that in.
Yeah, he's been extremely patient with it.
Grim Flare is where David's going to start. Looks like Kevin's okay with the 4/4. And now here is Walking Ballista. And you see the way that David has tapped his mana. Does not want to get hit by Reduce.
Yes.
Perhaps he would like this card to be a little bit larger, but because it's smaller, Kevin might also say, well, it's just a 2/2. I don't really care about that. Might save this Disallow. But it looks like he's going to opt to use the counterspell to take care of the Ballista. A land, which means that David can activate Hissing Quagmire. And are there any attacks here from the Black-Green Delirium player? It looks like there is. In for 3.
Yeah, I don't think Davila wants to sit on his hands the whole game here. And Hissing Quagmire is a pretty safe thing to leave back on defense.
And lines up nicely against Elder Deep Fiend as Jones will draw. Chandra.
Chandra really good in this spot.
Gotta change the dynamic of this game, that's for sure. Now this is something that Kevin can kind of turtle up behind.
Yep, and this fits in really nicely to Jones's strategy here of he can just get in some chip shots here with Chandra, and the other Elder Deep Fiend in hand you can try to set up to finish out the game.
So Jones is gonna put David down to 9 after plushing the Chandra, and now Elder Deep Fiend's here to defend the Chandra.
Yep. If Davila draws a removal spell for the Elder Deep Fiend here, he's in great shape.
That's true.
Takes care of the Chandra way ahead on the table, and Jones doesn't have a whole lot of life to work with. But if he misses here, or if it's just a creature, this Chandra plus the Elder Deep Fiend back on defense is a big problem.
This would be a great spot for the card never to return.
Yes.
Kill something and make a 2/2?
And get something of note out of his graveyard.
Yeah. Be a great spot for that card if he's able to draw it. Only playing 1 copy in the main. Doesn't look like any more on the sideboard. For now, it looks like David's going to go towards Hissing Quagmire.
Now, the option that Davila has here is he can fire up the Hissing Quagmire and attack with everything. That takes care of the Chandra. Jones has no way to protect it. But Jones just gets to swallow up something, I would imagine, the Grimflayer, and then you're getting hit to 4 on the way back and playing against Elder Deep Fiend. Hard to protect yourself from all of that.
Well, Jones says, I'm going to get in front of your Grimflayer. Chandra going to bite the dust. And that might take up David's entire turn.
Also a Wandering Fumarole that Jones has down too. That could be fired up and potentially present lethal this coming turn.
Yeah, we just need a land to be able to enable that play. The draw does not appear to be a land. So Jones will just have to sit on his heels some more, as David will draw. And he'll just simply pass the turn back yet again. Looks like 2 spells over there in Davila's hand. Just don't have a great look at them right now. Jones taking a look through the graveyard here. Pretty long, drawn-out game 2 here. Kevin will play Catharic Reunion. And discard a couple of cards here, find 3 new ones. Sanctum of Ugin, a Mountain, and another copy of Chandra.
Sanctum of Ugin is a nice pickup here because if Jones's plan to finish out this game is to just Elder Deep Fiend, tap down your team, hit you for 5, do that again, being able to tutor up another Elder Deep Fiend is really important. Also keep in mind that if Davila tries to sit back on the Hissing Quagmires as a way to protect himself, rubble.
Get him.
Yes.
Get him.
Rubble.
You're looking for any excuse to have a Rubble cast here. I get it. I get it. You're a Rubble fan. Davila will draw. Copy of Blooming Marsh. Evolving Wilds in hand. And it looks like maybe Yahenni's Expertise in hand. Pass the turn back.
Yahenni's Expertise does not seem great in this matchup.
Not what I would want to have. Here's another Deep Fiend. Kevin going to go after Quagmires, Ishkana, and whatever else.
Anything that can block.
Yep. Because he's looking to force some damage through. And maybe he'll want to trigger Sanctum of Ugin. I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, I have to imagine that an Elder Deep Fiend in the hand is better than a land at this point.
Chain him up. So, assuming everything goes right here for Kevin, and he actually does have a land in hand, so we could actually just see what you mentioned a turn ago, which is him just playing a land, activating Wandering Fumarole, attacking here for what is basically lethal.
Yep.
Now, there is a little bit of concern about a card like Grasp of Darkness or some other instant speed removal spell. And Kevin, for the most part, we've watched him for long enough, plays pretty conservative.
Yes, he likes playing the super conservative, leave all my mana available on your turn, try to nickel and dime you. He rarely goes for the kill unless it's really desperate times.
Because I think it is likely that the kill may have been good there. Is Kevin's opponent going to have Grasp of Darkness after sideboard? Probably not.
Right.
Is his opponent playing Murder? Probably not. So he may have been able to offer it up. You're going to see an Ishkana activation here from David in the meantime. But again, Kevin does like to play pretty conservative. David will untap all those lands. He's drawn plenty of this game. Didn't get a great look at the draw step.
I think it was a Traverse.
That could be a good draw. Could turn into anything.
But remember, he knows about the Elder Deep Fiend in hand. So something like Noxus Gearhulk or Walking Ballista to try to answer the Elder Deep Fiend is off the table.
Not particularly good.
Another copy of Ishkana doesn't really cover it either between the Elder Deep Fiend trigger and the Rubble being able to tap down the Quagmires. So I'm not sure if there's anything that Davila can really get in the spot that answers this.
I remember Rubble, and we'll take a look at it again. I believe it just locks down.
Oh, it doesn't tap? I thought it was tapped. Oh.
It does not tap them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oof.
Not that insane.
I thought it was tapped and doesn't tap.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
Kevin, what are you?
What's this card bad now?
I don't know. It's just if you're playing a blue-red deck and you're already like okay with playing with 3-mana leak, which I think Kevin's deck it's close enough, then why not? It's just another thing to do.
Sure.
But, whew, I thought it was tap him down and then you're just gonna get him.
Now I think all things considered, Kevin's okay here because David has searched for an Ishkana. He's attacked with the one that he already has on the battlefield. Now he's going to play the new one. This is going to likely resolve. And Kevin in his hand has a copy of Kozilek's Return. So 3 spiders should be made. Kozilek's Return should be able to take care of these. And then Elder Deep Fiend will be able to take care of the Quagmires and the Ishkana.
Yeah, so or he can tap down and then Kozilek's Return his Quagmire when Davila goes to block. There's a couple paths here.
Yep. So there's Kozilek's Return. Here comes Elder Deep Fiend, emerging through a previous Elder Deep Fiend. And now he says, give me that, give me that, give me that. And I'm going to, of course, flash back the Kozilek's Return, take care of the Ishkana, and that is going to do it. So, Kevin Jones going to win this match here over David Davila. 2-0. Blue-red emerge? Blue-red emerge? Maybe a thing? Taking down Black-Green Delirium 2-0.
I can't speak to too much of what's going on in Kevin's deck here. But this seems like a pretty solid matchup. Davila just spends a lot of time setting up, and I think that's really rough against a deck like this because once Jones got the shop going, removal spells don't really work because the creatures are recursive or Elder Deep Fiend avoids all that kind of stuff. Very hard